Hello YouTube makeup lovers. So today I have a foundation first impression video for you guys. I believe this is the very first impression that I do with a drugstore foundation. The foundation I am testing out today is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation. I got the shade 115, which is called Buff Beige, and I just have heard such great things of this foundation. I heard it's amazing. I even heard that the concealer is pretty good too, but I did not buy that. I've had this foundation on my vanity for weeks, and I know this has already been out for a little bit, but I just had not had the chance to try it out. I had so many other videos that I wanted to post before I posted this one, but I just really wanted to try it so bad already. I love the packaging. I like simple packaging like this that you can just squish out, and I think it's a good size. It does have the regular 1 fluid ounce that I believe a regular foundation would have, but it's a nice packaging for travel, and it's pretty small, and it looks like this. It says fresh complexion oil-free foundation. It's fairly new, but I know there's probably a ton of videos out there with this foundation because I've heard it's great from all the videos that I've seen, but I had to go ahead and try it out for myself. So I wanted to go ahead and read you what the CoverGirl website says about the foundation. It says, get Insta Gorgeous with Ready Set Gorgeous. This liquid foundation's oil-free formula provides medium coverage to even skin tone and cover imperfections. The result is a flawless natural look that lasts all day. The built-in powder system fights against shine, pulling oil and sweat away from your face instead of trapping them under your foundation. And it says here, from what I see, the color range on here on the website, it says it has 12 colors. I have the shade 115, which I think it's the second color. The first one was 105, and I thought that was a little bit too light. So let's go ahead and get started with the foundation application. I will be telling you exactly how I feel about it as I am applying it, but of course I will be checking back in a little bit later and then just give you my final thoughts on the foundation. So let's get started with the foundation application. I definitely feel that today is a good day to do a first impression because my skin is not at its best. I have a little breakout right here, so we will be able to see if the foundation works well. I'm also wearing no makeup whatsoever on my face. All I have done is my eye makeup, and I did apply some moisturizer. I use the Ahava Time to Hydrate Essential Day Moisturizer. So right now I have nothing else on my face, no makeup whatsoever. I am going to apply a little bit of primer because I always apply primer when I use my foundation. So I want to do my first impression the exact same way that I would apply a regular foundation. Today I'm going to use the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. This is just a little sample that I have, and I just felt like using it. I'm just going to use a little bit of this primer. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and apply the foundation. This is the shade 115, and I just applied some to my hand. And as I always do it, I'm going to dot it on my face. A big dot right there. The breakout wasn't as bad until I touched it and I messed with it, and then now it's just like so bad. And I'm going to go ahead and start buffing this in. To buff it in, I am using this Tarte brush. This is like the Airbrush bamboo brush. As far as the color, I am happy with the color that I chose. I was a little scared that it was going to be too light. So it felt really nice on my skin, and right away I already feel that the foundation covered a lot and it evened out my skin tone a lot. This you can still see a little bit, but it's not as red as it was, and it did feel really nice on the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit more, not because I feel like I need it. I'd be happy with this coverage maybe if I was gonna go to work, but just for the sake of trying it out and see how nicely the foundation builds, I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit more. It doesn't feel thick at all. It actually feels really nice. I didn't even put that much more. I mean, I see a huge difference from when I first started filming this section, how my face looked really uneven. I just felt like my skin just did not look good at all. And I think that it is just a huge improvement from before. This I'm definitely gonna have to cover up with a little bit more concealer. I mean, it's pretty bad. I don't think many foundations would actually cover that up completely without making it look really, really bad. So I am extremely happy with the way the product feels. I did apply a little bit more and it doesn't seem that it's getting cakey. It blended in real nicely. It did even out my skin tone. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and apply my concealer and the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. So I went ahead and applied the rest of my makeup. I did set the foundation with my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural. I use a shade medium. I pretty much did everything exactly the same as I would normally do when I do my makeup and when I use foundation. I always apply concealer, I always set it. I did everything exactly the same to give this foundation the same exact chance that I give my other foundations whenever I use them. So the makeup is done. It is now 7:37 p.m. and I am about to go out. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna go have dinner with a friend. We may or may not do a movie, so I will definitely be home a little bit later and I will check back in with you guys, and hopefully I think it'll be pretty late at night. I have off tomorrow from work, so I can stay up pretty late, and I may even try to get a tutorial in there somewhere and film another tutorial with you guys, for you guys. So I will check back in with you later. So I am back and it is now 2:34 in the morning. So it is a little late and I'm kind of tired. You can probably tell a little bit in my eyes, but I did want to tell you guys a little bit about the foundation. For starters, I did not touch up at all throughout the night. I did just put on a little bit of lipstick just because I was going to film the video for you guys. But as far as the face, no touch-ups, and I went out to dinner, I went to a late movie, I walked around and just got home. Foundation did hold up really well. I still have my blush on and it just feels like, I still feel like my skin looks really good. My blemishes though are completely showing, like there's no coverage on them whatsoever. It's also, unfortunately, a bad habit that I have is that when I have a blemish, I'm always touching it. So I noticed myself touching it a lot during the movie. So I'm sure I did wipe it off a lot. So that is completely showing. And as far as the rest of the face, I'm looking here into my little mirror. I'm really happy with the way the foundation looks. I'm really happy with the way it felt when I applied it. So that I really like. So it lasted a pretty long time. I do think that it blended in real nicely. I was able to layer it. I think I could have even added more and it still would have not looked cakey. It just felt really natural. It still feels natural, and when I look in this mirror, it doesn't look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup on my face, yet it's made my blush last all night long. And I'm sure I've touched my face and everything and I still have a ton of blush on. My nose has a little bit of shine, but very little, and I'm not really a person to get too shiny. But yeah, I do notice a little bit of shine on the nose, but no shine. I don't see any shine on my cheeks. I think that this foundation is more of a medium coverage foundation, but I was able to build it, and I'm sure I could build it up more, but I still think it'd be a little bit more of a medium coverage. I love the way it felt when I applied it, like I just mentioned. But for the price and for a drugstore product, it's so good. I mean, I was really happy with it. Definitely gonna continue using it just to make sure that my skin doesn't react to the product. I have dry skin and this is an oil-free formula, but I didn't feel that it dried my skin out. It did feel moisturizing for me. Of course, I always apply my moisturizer before my foundation, always, and I do apply primer. but it just felt really nice on the skin. That's my favorite part of it, that when I did apply it, it just felt great. And then it blended nice. Instantly when I applied this foundation, I noticed the difference from before when I had no makeup on, and then when I put it on, it completely evened out my skin, and I loved it. And as far as the packaging, I just mentioned it. I love it. I like this simple packaging. It's great for travel. And I don't really think I've ever really had a CoverGirl foundation that I truly, really loved. And this one I really like for the first time. I really do like it, and I hope that I continue to use it. I think this would also be a really good everyday foundation, just because when you apply the first layer, it just goes on so nicely. It just gives you just enough coverage. So for an everyday foundation, I think it'll be really nice. And then you can just always maybe try to build it up a little bit more and use it in the evening if you want to use it maybe for a more, you know, where you want to be more made up, maybe if you're going to go out at night. I think it'll work really well. Keep an eye out for whatever I may say about it. Of course, if I love it, you'll definitely see it in my favorites. I do love it right now, but of course, you know, the first impression, usually the first impression is very helpful to me, because I really haven't had a first impression. I don't think that I haven't known right away whether it's a foundation that I will love or a foundation that I will hate. Of course, you always run the risk that it might break you out later on, but thankfully I've been lucky with that. And so far, every first impression that I have ever thought that I liked a foundation, I have continued to like it. So I'll know right away if I hate it, but of course there's always that risk that later on it'll just cause a weird reaction to my skin, but hopefully it does not. But great product, and I cannot wait to continue to use it. It's just so good. I'm gonna go out and buy the concealer. If you guys have tried the concealer, let me know what you think about that. So that is pretty much it. This was my first impression on the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful. Let me know if you want me to keep these first impression videos coming for you. And as always, I want to say thank you so much for watching Be Lounge Makeup. Bye!